name is Sarah Bateman, and I serve the City of Orem as Chair of the Natural Resources Stewardship Committee. It's a committee that was established a couple of years ago, and it's focusing on sustainable, environmental sustainability, environmental stewardship right here in Utah County. So I'm going to discuss the Sustainable Development Goal number 12, which is responsible production and consumption. Now, when we discuss environmental sustainability and stewardship, we have to acknowledge the politics first off. So 40 years ago, when you said the word environment, it was a politically neutral term. Unfortunately, today it can be very divisive. So we have to acknowledge that and kind of approach perhaps a diplomatic efforts, because it is associated with political liberal side of things, and the state of Utah is a politically conservative state. So we look for common ground. And for me, one of my favorite things that I like to point out to conservative leaders is that the word conservative and conservation are only 2 letters different. So there is a common root, and I think there's a lot that we can focus on. For example, conservative fiscal policy is very much about take little of my money, spend little of my money, and be wise and efficient with that money that you're spending, so cut the waste. So if you change that from the financial resources of money and put in natural resources, the concept is the same. Take little of the natural resources, spend little of the natural resources, and be wise and efficient with those resources that you do spend. And cut the waste. So I think there's a lot of overlap there that we can really have productive conversations when it comes to environmental stewardship and sustainability. Now here in Orem and throughout the West and along the Wasatch Front, the word that we're hearing a lot is growth. So the projections show that the population here in Utah County will increase by 1 million people. That's a 177% increase in the next almost 50 years. So in looking at that, we have to really plan for the future and plan for how those natural resources that will be impacted can be used wisely to benefit all of the residents. So in that growth projections and the planning, we look a lot of times at transportation. Some of the things that are going on here when it comes to transportation are improvements in public transit. We have a new BRT, or Bus Rapid Transit line, that just went live called the UVX, and it connects both of our universities here, Utah Valley University and Brigham Young University in the sister city, and connects a lot of economic centers, and it's a great way to try to get more cars off the road, increase mobility access for those who may not have vehicles, and hopefully improve the air quality, which is a concern every year, both in the summertime and in the wintertime with our inversions. So hopefully that will improve air quality. And we recently received, well, the state received a grant that will provide free access to that BRT, not only for the students of both, and students and faculty and staff of both universities, but also, I believe that one is for 10 years, and for all of the public for the next 3 years. I think it's until 2021 that grant allows that transit ride, that transit line can be free, so that everybody can try it out and see that maybe transit could be a viable option for them in their mobility issues. Another thing that we've done here that the City of Orem is working on is improving its transportation master plan to make it a more bikeable and walkable neighborhoods, improve the infrastructure so that we can recognize the multimodal approach that allows a greater opportunity for us to get around and move around the state, our city. And as far as housing and land use, I know that the City of Orem and other areas are looking at finding a balance between medium and high density housing options, mixed use areas, so that perhaps people can live closer to where they shop and work, thus reducing the amount of miles traveled by car. Another area that we're looking at is obviously water conservation. Utah is in the middle of a desert. We do have mountains nearby where we get our snowpack in the wintertime. We do have the increased population coming, and so we do need to factor in how to conserve water. So a couple of things that the city of Orem has done is they're in the middle of a citywide replacement of all the water meters to be smart water meters. There's also an opportunity, a rebate program that the city is trying to get the word out for their residents about smart sprinkler systems, and there's a rebate available so that it can make it a little bit more of an affordable option for residents so that they can, again, monitor how much water they're using and perhaps that they can use a lot less. We've got also some land use as far as parks that the city has been working on improving some parks and developing some other parks. We've got a bike skills park, and they're looking into developing a natural playground up in the foothills, which will be a great area for, again, residents to get out. All of these parks are great opportunities for us to enjoy recreation and the beautiful surroundings that we have here in Utah and in Orem. We've got the lake on one side, we've got the mountains on the other, and it's a beautiful place. And so the city is trying to make sure that there are plenty of amenities for the residents to get out and enjoy recreation opportunities and enjoy opportunities to engage with each other. As more people come into the state, as our families grow, that opportunity for connection, that human connection, and our connection with our neighborhoods, our connection with the nature that surrounds us, the mountains, the trails, the rivers, that's an important thing for our children to remain connected to so that they can be invested in the future and have that same desire to protect our beautiful home.